Hello, in this short tutorial, we're going to go over some tips that are helpful at the end of a term. So our starting point is PowerTeacher here. We're in PowerTeacher, and if you click on here, you're listed to classes, and obviously we take attendance every day. But you have this backpack here, and you probably clicked it before. But if you click the backpack, you get a list of all the students in that particular class. And if you click on a student's name, it defaults to the student schedule. This is the default screen if you've never changed it. I find this particular screen not too helpful, so I'm going to go back to PowerTeacher, and I'm going to go and personalize this. Click Personalize, and here it says the default student screen. When I click on a student, the screen I like, and you might like something different. We've all probably checked out these screens before. The one I like is the quick lookup screen. I always set that at the beginning of the year when I'm starting a term. And so now when I click on the backpack and then I click on the student, I get the default screen. And I often like to see are they absent in other classes? How are they doing in some of their other classes? Are they doing well in just mine? Or are they having downturns in other classes as well as mine? Or I just kind of like to compare and see what their experience is with other teachers. So I think it's a real helpful screen. So the default screen is really helpful going through and checking out. You can obviously, you guys know, you can click on the grade. And the other screen I use a lot is demographics. So this is not my default screen, but let's say I'm going to call a few parents, and I've clicked on the default screen here, and I'm going to look up a phone number, and I want to go to another student. If I click on a student's last name, I get the default screen, which is the quick lookup screen. If I click on their and then I have to switch it to demographics. Now, if you click on their first name of a different student, I'm going to click on a different student, I'm going to click on their first name, I will get the demographics page. So I can go through really quickly and click on students' first names and get their information. And always when I click on their last name, it goes back to the default screen. And I find that, a lot of teachers don't know this quick and very useful tip. Another one is a report I like to do at the beginning of the year. The printer over here is specific reports, and this is an underutilized report in my opinion. I print it out for every class, every term. So I click on here, and it's called, it kind of have an interesting name. It should just be the student information one, but they call it the field trip roster with photo emergency contact. So this gives me all the medical alerts, their picture of the student, all their phone numbers on one page. It's a great report. And I'm going to click submit. And now you notice the report's running on the back end. It's running on the server. And if I just sit here, this is never going to say it's ready. I have to refresh my screen. I can either do it manually myself, refreshing the screen, or I can click this refresh button, and now the report's ready and I can view it and print it out. I always print this report out, take it out when we have fire drills, evacuations, etc. It has their photo, it has their homeroom teacher, any medical alerts, emergency contacts, etc. So it's an absolutely great tool to have. Once again, that's the field trip roster. And originally they called it the field trip roster because an elementary teacher said, I need something to take on field trips, so I have all their phone numbers. So that's a really great report to have. So then you always go back here, and don't forget personalize, and I would change your password every so often, and the daily bulletin. I am guilty of this. I always forget to look at the daily bulletin. It's a great resource I can hear parent can use, see what's going on if I didn't hear it in the announcements or something. So the daily bulletin, let's use that, and you can just click and close it. And there's a couple of PowerSchool tips that you might find helpful. Thank you.